Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. My name is Nick and I am joined with the gentleman Keelan. Hey man, how you doing? Happy Thursday.
Hey, happy Thursday. What's going on? Last Thursday of the year, yeah.
Last Thursday of the year. Can you believe it? It's already over. Blink and you miss it.
Hmm. Blinking is my thing, so I miss it all the time.
All right, fair enough. Just call you Anthony Blinken from now on.
Oh
See, I
man,
was trying to find I was trying to find a Blinken name outside of just Blinken in general. If
Yeah.
you know, you know. But
Mhm.
yep, you did that.
you've
Yep,
been
I did.
promoted to Pac-Man character.
And we got Mike. What's going on, Mike? Happy Thursday, bro.
Man, happy Thursday to you gentlemen as well.
Right on. Yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about 2023, a year in review. We're going to be talking about some of the best movies and some of the worst movies that we've seen this year, maybe some honorable mentions along the way. And yeah, we hope that you enjoy this episode. If you do, you can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell. It would really help us out. We want to grow our audience, and we can't do it without your help. So, stay tuned for this episode. Enjoy. If you have any comments, you're more than welcome to leave them in the comment section, and we'll be happy to respond. Guys, it's been a year, man. What a year! Another year of doing this podcast. We're deep in it now.
Deep. We're beyond deep. We're Mariana Trench in this thing.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it does feel like screaming into a void. You're right, Keelan.
Pretty deep.
That's pretty
Yeah.
deep. Yeah. So, and I think we could probably just start with our list here. I think that'll help get the conversation going in the direction that we want it to.
Oh yeah.
We'll probably have some honorable mentions if there's something that the list has missed. So this is what's going to happen, guys. We have reviewed. Actually, let Keelan do that because he's the
Hey.
numbers guy. And he's going to give us a little bit of statistics for this channel and what we did in the year 2023. So, Keelan, take it away.
Yes, indeed. So what we did in the year 2023, I just want you guys to know I have a couple of statistics for you. I like these things. I don't know why anything I have to crunch numbers do mathematically. I'll just be like, ooh, whatever. Um, in the year 2023, we here on the Screen Time Continuum had a total of 61 reviews. However, 52 of those reviews are movies that were made and released. Excuse me, not made, but released in the year 2023. Let me repeat that. So what we did is we reviewed 52 movies that came out in the year 2023. That is the composition of this year's channels, videos, and things that you guys can watch right here on the Screen Time Continuum. You can just go back through that. See, that's one for every week. And by the time you're done watching one a week, you'll have a whole nother 52 weeks plus however many we do for the 2024 year. Should I let them know how many movies came out in general for the year?
Sure. Yeah, do that. Well, before you
So,
do that, we got
uh-huh.
a comment here from Siobhan. She says,
Siobhan
"Evening,
says,
gentlemen
yeah.
and Mike." Oh, damn. Mike, you going to take that?
Yes, he is.
Yes, I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all right. I don't blame you. It's all good. No
We know
worries.
Mike.
I'm
He's real
beaten
quick.
and bruised.
Yeah,
If he wasn't gonna take it, we would have known before you finished that comment.
that's true. That's true.
But
Thanks for
what's up,
tuning in,
Siobhan?
Siobhan. We appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, we have
Every
here
time.
the movies, the amount of movies to come out for the year of 2023. In 2023, in total, out of the American box office, to what I saw on IMDb, IDMB, IBD, no, I'm joking, IMDb, um, they made north of what they made last year. So last year they made about 14,000 and some change worth of movies. It's a lot of movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this year they made 4,221 more movies than they made last year. So this year it's a total of 18,229 movies. Now keep in mind the year's actually not over. So we actually have tonight's releases, tomorrow's releases, and anything that's released up until Saturday, I believe.
So, a question to you, is that like theatrical movie releases or like a streaming counting as well?
I'm assuming it's a streaming count as well because
Mhm.
streamed movies are also available on IMDb,
Sure.
and this is from their database. So yeah.
I mean, and this is internationally, right? Because this can't be just American releases.
Apparently, this is just American releases.
Okay, so where did all these movies go, guys? We only had like I remember many a week of us struggling to find something that came out in 2023 on a
Mhm,
streaming service. We have every
mhm,
streaming service there is, and
mhm.
some weeks were really hard. We had to dip into the year before.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
where are these movies at?
So what I
Trash.
figured is it's that they are counting everything, probably even student films, because you can search up certain student films on IMDb.
Okay, okay, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it for
So
sure.
I'm thinking it's something
Yeah.
like that. Like they when I say they account for everything, that movie that we've never heard of that's only 22 minutes long, or heck, there's films that are 6 minutes long.
That's true.
Are
Yeah,
those considered movies though?
Those are considered films.
I think
In
IMDb
in
just
a
might.
art respect.
Yeah, they might just count entries, and every entry is a new film most of the time anyway. So yeah, that's probably how they get their numbers.
That is
So.
homework worth doing. I can say that when I scroll through the list, I usually see movies that I have heard of, but I ain't scrolled through 18,000 movies. Let's just
Right.
No.
I randomly select pages and be like, never heard of it, never heard of it. Oh, okay, I know that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other stats for us, Keelan?
One that I think we should give at the end, but I think those are the most interesting stats we have.
Okay.
Actually, there is one other interesting stat that I thought was interesting, but I don't know if the audience would think it's interesting, but I will still share it. We only reviewed one video game this year,
Yeah.
and we only reviewed. Now, Mike and I actually had an off-air debate about this. I believe we reviewed technically two series, and two episodes, right?
Mhm.
But Mike doesn't believe that the South Park Panderverse that we reviewed would be considered a part of a series, but more as a part of a movie because it was singular and away from the bunch.
That's
Am I
true.
quoting you correct, Mike? I want to make sure I'm not
Well, I mean, because
misspeaking here.
it's not an actual episode of the show, like in the
Right.
same sense as they had a season. It was a
Mhm.
special,
Yeah,
a special broadcast kind of thing.
right. And it's on a different platform than the series. So
Right.
I totally understand his argument. I had it placed under the series because it still comes from South Park.
Right.
Now
And they
I
just
would love to
released
hear your
another
opinion on
one.
that, Mike. Nick.
They just
Right,
released
yeah.
another one called the adults only
Paul will review it in a
Fre-
week or two.
street cred or something like that.
Probably.
Right,
I
you
don't
told
know
me
that you
about it.
fellas gonna want to watch that one.
We do. But so really
Wait.
quick, so Nick,
Yeah.
what would be your input on that? Would you consider Pandaverse a series or like more like a short film type of a situation?
I would call it like like a short film. Just because it doesn't have it's not pardon me, it's not episodic. So
Right.
yeah, it was definitely a short film. It did not make the list because it did not rank high enough. So
Right. Well, it's
you know,
right below the rank too. That's the crazy part.
it is. It's right at the threshold. So
Mhm.
it was not counted in the best.
It was pushing buttons.
Yeah.
But and yeah, the other one we watched one episode of a show that we don't need to talk about. We did. Oh well, actually, I guess I'll mention it because we didn't rate it at all.
Mm-mm.
Because we weren't sure if we were going to watch any more of it after our off-air discussion about how just we didn't care for it. We didn't. But that would be the Velma series that everybody.
Oh yeah.
Some people liked, some people didn't, but we did not like episode one, and it turned us off.
Mhm.
But we only reviewed two series this entire season, which is a little different for us. Last years we do a lot of TV here. Sometimes we kind of balance it out. But we only really reviewed The Last of Us season one and Beef season one, which
Mhm.
I'm assuming we're going to talk about Beef in a little bit anyway.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, we should just get right into it, gents, because we're gonna have to evaluate some of our scores here. There might be some contention about the scores. There might not be. We might be, totally standing 10 toes down on our ratings. So Let's discuss. Let me bring it up. Yes, Keelan, what's up?
I remember there is one more statistic.
Okay.
What was it? There are 39 movies that we're just not gonna talk about that we reviewed because they're not worthy of
right.
this discussion. Good
Yes.
or bad, neither of the two. They were the middle deck. Now they make up the review of what I'm gonna tell you guys later. As far as what that is later, I will have a number for you guys, which is the average number for our reviews this year. So what is our review average of the year? But yeah, I wanted to share that. Throw that out.
Right. Yeah. 39 films that did not make the cut, good or bad. And sometimes that's the biggest sin, right? You're not even bad enough to be on the worst list. That's
That
saying
was being
something.
talked about.
Yeah.
You're not worth being talked about.
So I think what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go from the best to the worst. We have 14 films here that we're going to talk about, and we're going to do the best, and it's going to be from the lowest rung of the best all the way to the top, and then we're going to go to the worst, and we're going to do the bad to the terrible. That's what we're going to do. So let me bring this up for you guys now. And our first movie to discuss, They Clone Tyrone. This one's sitting at a 6.1 out of 10. What do you guys think? How do you guys remember that movie? There's not much for me to remember except for the film grain and some of John Boyega's acting that I thought was decent. But I can't remember a whole lot of this movie, if I'm being honest. I know there was stuff about, church and
yeah, all the stereotypes and
all the stereotypes,
all the conspiracies that they played off on the Black community. Yes.
Right.
Right. I think this is rated too low, but I thought that when we rated it. I will admit that I thought I would have revisited it before we got to this particular episode we're doing at the moment, but I haven't. I've discussed this movie over and over in a positive and in a satirical way, kind of. I wouldn't even say funny, but like kind of like, man, they did that. I can't believe they did that. That was stupid, right? Or, yeah, of course they had to throw that in there. But there was also a lot of appreciation for this movie in a lot of the discussions I heard around. And because of that, not just because of my own personal feelings, I'm like, yeah, maybe we really should have rated it higher. And I plan to come here today to petition that we lift it. Not even a full point. Let's at least give it a full 6.5.
Well, see, this is where revisionist history happens, because not only did I write down all of the ratings, I wrote our individual ratings down.
I did too.
And see how Keelan's trying to seem like it was me or Mike that totally dissed this movie. You're the only one that rated it 0.5 higher. Mike rated it a 6. I rated it a 6. You're the one that's at a 6.5. So technically it is above what it should be.
I said we should lift the score is what I said. I came to petition that we should lift the score. I know that I felt like I said, I felt like it should have been ranked a little higher. But at the same time, I understood because I can remember what is, I'm sure, on tape. And I'm sure I said at that moment, it doesn't hit those other ranks that we need. And we say to cross that 7-8 threshold for the emotional grabs, really, we could really just leave it at the emotional grabs, or even a storyline that gets outside of the satire that the movie was.
Like, or do you want to just want to raise the rank because it's a direct prequel to the other movie we're going to talk about later in this list? Leave the World Behind.
In fact, yes,
playing on certain folks' conspiracies. Where my Alamo beer?
These two movies are in a yin yang sort of process, right? Yeah, for sure.
Actually, well, look, Mike, that is actually a part of the discussion, the new part of the discussion in the They Clone Tyrone movie discussion.
It's be interesting is having like a movie marathon where you watch both of them back to back.
Predictive programming back to back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, you might not be able to get your thoughts back after that one. Be careful.
Right. I don't necessarily disagree that it could be a 6.5, but I'm pretty solid on the 6.1. Considering that the list of the best is so small. I
That's
think
true.
that it did well enough throughout all the year to get here. So I think that
Mhm.
that says it's not a bad movie.
Right. And,
And
and I know
Agreed.
what's next on the list. And okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah. See, that's this. See, exactly. If you want to make the case that this should be or the next one should be this spot, I would agree with you. But
Yeah.
that brings us to the next one, which is The Machine, at a 6.2.
Hilarious.
That was Mike. That was all Mike.
No, it wasn't.
That was
Oh,
his
the
fault. He
score?
rated, and yes, he rated it
Oh,
a
yeah.
7.
Yeah, the score was all Mike for sure.
Because it was
It was
hilarious.
hilarious, but I don't remember because I don't remember where it is in my notes. What was my score on The Machine?
You know what's so funny about that, Keelan, is that you're making a big deal about They Clone Tyrone, but you rated this a 6.5 as well. So, boom.
I think I still like them about equal, but I would.
Okay.
It's and again, and I'm honest when I say that it's the discussions I had about They Clone Tyrone that really made me like, nah, that movie might be better than even I thought it was, but okay. I would definitely swap these two spots, but at the same time, I had so much fun watching this damn movie that because of the whole story, and I said all that when we did it, but
Yeah.
you know, the lore of this particular story in this movie, and I'm a Kreischer fan. What do you want from me?
Yeah, that's kind of
I
the
didn't even
curse
know
of
who he was.
What was that,
kind
Nick?
of that's kind of the curse of doing movie reviews, right? Because you have to stand by your score, but you don't really like sometimes movies grow on you over time.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
you might like them more after some distance from them. But unfortunately, I do kind of agree. I think that this probably is more of a 6.1 to me, and They Clone Tyrone is probably a 6.2 ish. But yeah, it's not a perfect science here, so we just got to deal with it.
We speak in the moment. That's what makes it fun.
Only thing I remember about The Machine is that none of Bert Kreischer's friends were in it. So
yeah,
Mhm.
that was the saddest part of the movie when you said that, and it really was like, damn, you're right. Like Sandler would never.
He has so many friends that are all about Hollywood and
But some of them
comedy.
have movies and stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No, it's cool. I mean, it's just it was kind of like, yeah, I think sad is a good way to put it, because I guarantee you he asked all those people to be a part of the movie and they all just ignored him or said no.
He probably couldn't afford them.
Well, and I still stand by. I don't, I've seen like even his TV stuff. I've never seen them all do anything outside of like their podcast together.
Yeah, he has
It made me
that.
tour.
He has that series, Something's Burning, where he would bring them into a kitchen and they would cook. Why wouldn't they just?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? They didn't get paid for that. Why wouldn't they just agree to be a part of his movie? I don't get that.
Right.
That bugs me.
I mean, even like the Kill Tony stuff, like you'll see him on the panel, but yeah. Anyway, because I have, I got it.
I stopped watching all those people because of that.
Really?
I just said,
Wow.
Yeah, I can understand.
Because they're not like you guys aren't. You're not about shit. You talk about how you're a community.
Is it like Bobby Lee? They're not really his friends.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it's that deep, but yeah, I can understand the comparison. I don't know if it's that deep. That's deeper than we need to go in this episode.
Right.
Well, just so you fellas know, if you make a movie, I'm there.
Hey, I would expect nothing less.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on from The Machine, and the next movie in the best list is Loop. There we go. The Pope's Exorcist. This is at a 6.5 out of 10. All I remember of this movie is that while watching it, I came down with a case of COVID. So maybe the exorcism worked, because I got so sick
it jumped into you
while watching it.
Hey,
all I remember is hearing some Latin incantation, and then all of a sudden I had like a fever of 103. So yeah, good movie. Good movie.
Evil Catholics driving out demons.
Yeah.
I still stand by this one. I really like this one though. For the recent horror movies, this one was pretty decent.
Yes.
Whereas most horror movies themselves are just bad, this one generally was pretty decent.
I agree. Yeah.
The Pope's Exorcist.
Go ahead, Keelan. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it delivered.
Yeah.
A lot of movies this year did not deliver. It delivered.
They don't.
Bless
Never
you.
mind.
Thought I
It's
heard what
delivered.
I see what I did there.
Uh-huh.
My bad.
And yeah, I think that this movie was pretty fun. It was a good exorcism style movie, something you've seen a million times before. But interesting enough, it kind of opened up a universe and like an opportunity for a franchise. Like
Mhm.
you could go all over the world doing exorcisms now. So
Right.
um,
I think it's what they intended on doing, or actually what they did with the Exorcism of series and all of that for a minute. And this
mhm.
is just the new side of it. And what I will say, that I didn't think about during the review of this is that's a very cool way to be able to stretch a franchise as you just tell the different sides of the story.
Yeah, yeah. From the
I like that
perspectives.
they made it seem like there was a potential for a Catholic priest to be possessed by a demon, and he was the reason for the was it the Spanish Inquisition?
Spanish Inquisition. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he was the reason why a lot of people were killed in the name of God, which is a
Right.
direct blaspheme. I thought that was interesting, and I thought that was a nice spin on that
Yeah.
concept
It's
because
good
it makes
lore.
sense.
It's good lore building for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I agree. This one was a fun watch. I wish I didn't get a demon fever while watching
Well,
it. But
well, next
it was,
time we gonna bless your house before we watch something like this.
yeah, I
Make
think
sure
I
ain't
bet,
no lingering spirits.
Earn some sage,
man.
say some prayers, sprinkle some holy water.
Now we're
I
not
gotta
gonna do that
do.
sage business. I've learned we're not gonna
Yeah, I
do
mean,
that.
ain't sage the same thing as frankincense and myrrh?
No,
How we know? I wasn't around back then. Every time people
because
tell me no, I'm like, how do we know? I'm just saying, let's do the research.
See, the thing about sage is that you have to make sure your windows and doors are open, or else you're just chasing the ghosts around your house. They have to have an exit.
it's not perfume.
Now that was fun. And it's so funny. Just I'll say this and then I'll leave it alone about the whole sage thing. I always thought it was just like to clean the air, and then people would told me like, "Oh no, it's to ward off the ghosts and stuff." And I'm like,
It's
okay,
it's
I guess
more
this.
of it's actually more of what you're saying because it does disinfect the air.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought it was for.
It has antimicrobial properties.
technically it's kind of pagan. So as a Christian, you ain't supposed to be doing that. But that's another conversation.
Technically, we gonna
Yeah.
have an
That's another
argument about that
conversation.
later too.
Go talk to the Catholics that are swinging that ball of incense around.
Yeah, they ain't.
Um,
That's different, but I understand where you're going.
Sure. Anyways, it's always to
I got
smoke
a
the
lot to
demons out.
say.
You got to smoke
Yeah,
the demons out. It's very important. All right,
we got
let's
some
move on.
better herbs to be smoking demons out with.
Let's move on before we offend anybody here. Next one up is Super Mario Brothers. This one smash. This one came out at a 6.7 out of 10. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think it's worth a 7, but
All right. I liked this movie. Hindsight, I'm surprised we ranked this so high. I think I might have been surprised the night when we did this, but I want to say that was when I was recovering from COVID, so maybe some mistakes were made.
I rated it a 7. You rated it a 7, Keelan, and Mike rated it a 6. So
Yeah,
it's our fault this time.
yeah.
I think I gave it too many points because of Lumily.
Right, probably.
Knowing me, Lumily, the little blue star.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. You were fixated on that for some reason.
Lumily is dope.
Yeah, it was a
They got me.
nihilistic cartoon character. Come on, that's
Right?
good.
How can you not like
Funny.
that?
Yeah.
But honestly, yeah, they got me, and I think it was Lumily.
I mean, also, what's great? I mean, this movie's animation is very pretty.
boss.
Very good animation. The voice acting is great too. A lot of
Yeah.
people made fun of Chris Pratt, but I think he does a fine job.
Yeah.
What were people thinking that he was going to talk like this? Oh,
Yeah,
Mamma Mia! Like, come on.
Yeah, they did.
You're going to listen to that for 2 hours? Come on, man.
Of course they are.
I guess.
Hey, I just realized we missed a couple of comments over here.
Oh shoot! It's because I have my window covered here. Let me move that over. Oh yeah, Ayla says Nah, man, things got weird that night. That's right. It was the night of the
The hurricane
hurricane.
night.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Right.
wasn't even in California.
See, it was all bad omens. It was all bad omens. I
Oh,
should
that's
never watch
right.
that movie.
I forgot all about that.
You know what? It was probably me conjuring a spell because I did it. I watched that movie on the hurricane night. Yeah, that was my fault. Sorry.
Got it.
Tina H is here. Thanks for tuning in. Sage
What's
cleanses
going on,
people's
Tina H?
spirits. Yes, but again, make sure your windows and doors are open, or else they can't get out.
Chase them in circles.
Yes,
That's
yeah, make sure. It makes them angry if you don't let them out. So
If you don't let them out,
yeah, you got to let them out of the house
you
first.
suffocating them and they can't go nowhere.
Getting
Yeah,
Casper all riled up.
right.
Suffocating a dinner person. It's crazy.
Yeah. Anything else to say about Mario?
Mario. I actually did like the movie. Like, I remember it.
Beta
When they
Luigi.
slowed it down. It was enjoyable. It was different. They mixed in the real world with the Mario world, but never got to the human world. And I appreciated how they kind of did that. Yeah, it was nice. It was better than expected, and I think that's how we got into a 6.7.
Yeah. Again, there's a sea of movies that we did not even mention in this list because they were just so middling and unremarkable. So the fact that something is a 6.7 and it's on the best list tells you something. So yeah. All right, let's move on. Next movie is Leave the World Behind. This is recent. 6.8 out of 10. Yeah, man, I still like this movie. I think it was good. I really again, those wide angle shots still stick in my mind. The hodgepodge potpourri of conspiracy theories was a lot of fun.
They didn't have to do Elon like that.
They did Elon super dirty, that's for sure.
Even Elon understand why they had to do it.
Yeah, smashing all his cars for no reason. Yeah, this one was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. It was kind of like you know what it is? It's kind of like, you remember the movie Don't Look Up?
Yep.
I think that this movie is sort of like what that movie wanted to be, and I think this movie does it better. So.
Oh, that's the one with
DiCaprio.
Yeah. Okay, it took me a minute to catch on.
Cast, actually.
Yeah, giant cast.
Yeah,
lots of people.
Wasn't
a
Clooney
whole to do about nothing.
Yeah. That movie was depressing. Everybody dies at the end. This one has a better ending. So, yeah,
more people should die at the end.
Yeah. Well, like, that's not escapism. That's just reality, and that's not why we go to the movies. Anything else you guys wanted to say about Leave the World Behind? Julia Roberts is a great dancer. We all know that now.
Oh yeah.
What I was gonna say, you just made me not want to say. So hey, I was gonna say, I still stand by Julia Roberts and what is her name?
Mahershala Ali.
No, not Mahershala Ali. I know how to say Mahershala Ali. What was the girl's name? Mahalia?
Oh yeah, Mahala.
Yeah, Mahala. I still stand by that. Her and Julia Roberts did the best in the movie until you get to the scene at Kevin Bacon's house.
Yeah,
but until then, they literally carried that entire movie, and I liked it. I appreciated it, actually.
I honestly, yeah. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think the cinematography saves this movie.
That is a fair point as well.
I mean, there are the scenes that I still are burned in my head, which is just testament to good cinematography. The Tesla scene, the plane crash, the leaflets that are falling from the sky, the giant cargo ship coming in. Those are all big tentpole scenes that just stay with you, and I think that that's a good storytelling process because they've stuck around in my head for so long. So.
Yeah, and I remember all of those. Those were good shots. My favorite shot that I can think of right now is the pan across all of the albums in his music room. Right. That was just beautiful. And I think that was just more as a kind of how Mike alluded to with um uh the Gran Turismo and things like that, like just being sports based, that would interest me. I think the music thing was just an interest, and because I have such an interest in music, seeing that was like, oh, if only I could have a collection like that. But either
Right.
way, I thought it was beautiful.
I thought
Yeah.
the best scene was that real realistic scene where the plane crashed and he hid behind the door and
I
didn't
love
know it.
that though. It's just such a cool scene. That's the thing. It's so dumb, but it's super cool.
And then in the very next part where, well, right before that, he was walking on the beach and he finds a hand. And then he
Yes.
looks up and then there's bodies everywhere. It's like, wait a minute. You didn't see none of those bodies before you saw that hand?
I'm
Nope.
about to say you
None
saw
of them.
this nice expensive watch, but you ain't see no bodies everywhere.
Whole ass plane crash that's happened right next to you. Yeah.
Right. All he seen was that bling, bling, bling.
Oh yeah, so that was a great film. I think that we enjoyed
That was
that
good.
one, and
Yeah.
it kind of tickled our tinfoil hat brains. So that was
Mhm.
always fun. All right, let's move on. Next one is Jawan, the extended cut. This one got a
Yeah.
7.6 out of 10. Guys, what are we doing?
It was a good
What are
movie.
we doing? I know
Love
it was.
Indian cinema.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. This was a fun movie. So
I'm
I can't
actually
even
wondering,
complain.
have we right now, I can't complain at all. I'm starting to wonder, have we rated any foreign film in general below like a 7 in general? Like they're
Oh,
all
yeah.
so good.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure
Yeah.
we have. Oh yeah, no. I just thought of like 2 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
we
give
have.
you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you some because I have the list here. Jung
I just got
E.
up to 5. Yeah.
Jung E was 3.5.
El Conde.
El Conde was that was a 5.3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was.
Nah,
Plus,
you
it
should have
was a
said
political film.
Day Zero.
Day Zero.
That
Oh,
was. Dang, that was recent. That was a foreign
that
film.
was
That's like-
recent. Yeah,
That was like last month.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have that one on here.
I
should
think
have
we
that one.
rated that somewhere around a 3 or
Jeez.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know. I
probably.
don't remember.
I thought about that. I thought about Ashvin's.
Yes, Aspens. That one was another Indian cinema movie. We rated that a 4 across the
Mhm.
board.
It's pretty low.
Yeah,
Because
And
not
then there-
everything foreign good and not everything
That's
foreign
right.
bad.
right.
Fair
And
facts
also,
and fair.
Kill Boksoon was a 4.7. So
I thought we ranked that higher. That's crazy.
I don't think
remember
that
which
the
one that
story
is.
held up.
Got you.
Yeah.
I remember
right,
the
well-
cover more than the story, so that makes sense.
Right. John One was great. Is there something memorable? I think that the train scene at the beginning is pretty memorable.
I would
where
honestly, yes.
yeah, he takes hostage the whole train scene, and then
Oh.
the dance in the prison was memorable. too. I like
All
that.
of his introduction, basically. For you.
Now it's coming back to me. I couldn't think of what the movie was about. Now it's coming back to me now.
Yeah.
For me, it was all the action scenes, even when Kylie was just beating up the bloody bag, like just those moments. They capture a lot of those well, but those are the things I remember from that movie.
hmm
She
Yeah.
was
Some of the
gorgeous.
oh no, and the vetting of him by the daughter.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
That
yes.
was cool.
Yeah.
And then
that was
everything that
cute.
transpired after that, because that to me that made the story wholesome. Like it it brought it all together. It gave you it gave him and you something to watch, something to fight for at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was the heart of the movie for sure. Yeah, that was a pretty solid flick. It was fun. I enjoyed myself as an Indian cinema, fan. Now you got to be ready to strap yourself in and watch a 3.5-hour movie.
Yikes.
And I think I think we've said this before, but Indian cinema always has a way of like you're like an hour in and the story just abruptly ends and you're like, wait, what? And then it goes on such a crazy tangent that 2 hours later it comes back together again. You're like, how the hell did I get here?
Man,
Yeah.
it was a crazy ride.
Yes, definitely it was. Yeah. Anything else about Jawan?
No, I think that's about it for Jawan.
Those are some beautiful
It's one of
ladies.
those movies.
Mm.
It's one of those movies where I'm like, I would definitely be down to watch a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a part 2 at some point for sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here.
I was gonna say, I think we skipped one.
Which one do you think we skipped?
Smile.
Was that was 2022?
Was it?
Yeah, it came out in 2022. That's why I didn't keep it. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that came out in
thought I
2022, I
looked that
didn't
one up.
bring up.
Yeah, after we had that discussion, I thought I looked that one up and it was 23. That's my fault. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. This one next is No One Will Save You at an 8 out of 10. I stand by that one.
Yeah, this one was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Another surprise but good movie.
Yeah.
Because
this was a Hulu exclusive, I think.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Who would have thunk it?
Honestly, I wouldn't have. Like, if you told me a Hulu exclusive was going to be in your top 3,
right?
Man, all
I
right.
think one of the best Hulu movies I've ever seen was Puka, and that wasn't that damn good.
Well, I mean, this one is definitely the best that I've seen, and
sure.
We had the extra pleasure of watching it all together, which was very fun. Again, about a movie about a home invasion that takes an extraterrestrial turn. And,
right.
Oh yeah.
A silent film that I only found out after watching a second time. So pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. Do you guys think that she was dead, or did she just?
I think she was living in Alien Pleasantville.
Right, and that's what I think too, for sure.
Yep.
A whole bunch of people kept saying that she was dead, and I was like, "No, man, she's not dead."
Why would she be dead?
Those are people. Those people. There's two things going on there, in my opinion. Those people don't want to wish ill upon her. They don't want to believe she's that gone.
Right.
And they still have hope for humanity.
Fair enough.
Aww.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute?
That's nice. Let them keep that. Don't take that away from
that
them.
naivete.
Well, I know, but the entire scope, no, I know all of y'all not wrapped that tight. I'm not doing it.
Hey, I got some beachfront property in New Mexico they can buy.
Hey, you might be.
I want the human race.
It might be beachfront at some point, so you never know.
Right.
I mean, after the great quake, yeah.
Look, I'm like, I want the human race to make it, but what I know is everybody ain't gonna.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
Hey, did you hear there's an uptick in people making bunkers?
I did. I sent you the article.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah.
You gotta send like maybe one article and then let it simmer for like a minute, Keelan. Because sometimes I get like 3 or 4, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna click the first one.
Yeah, my bad. I be doing so much at once.
This was a great movie. It was fun. It's good cinematography, good creature feature. I had a great time watching it with you guys. So it's not much else to say about that.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We're almost there. This is number 1, guys.
Hey,
Beef is a 10 out of 10, and that's because Mike wasn't here to review it with.
Yeah, Mike would not like that as much as we did.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's good. You can't taint it. You can't taint our perfect 10 because
it's terrible.
Yeah.
High five,
give it a 1.
Yep, we did it. We had to have 110 this year. I mean, geez Louise.
There's nothing perfect about this.
And as long as you don't go and see what the media says about anybody in this, then hey, you will stick with our 10 and love it for us.
Yeah, separate the art from the artist at this point. This show is really good. I think stylistically it was really highly stylized, so maybe not accessible for everybody, but it's funny. Like, it was really funny, and in a very dark comedy kind of way. I remember it being like laugh out loud funny at many points in the show, and that I did not expect. I didn't expect it to be humorous. I expected it to be more dramatic, and the fact that it was so deeply dramatic but also really funny was a great balance for me.
It was a lot of oh shit funny moments.
Yes, yeah, and it's like a really good love story.
It's a perfect love story.
It's almost there. It's almost there. It's like, you meet the love of your life, but you hate each other up until the last minute, and then all of a sudden you guys click. So yeah, there's a nice catharsis at the end. There's talks about a season 2. Please don't do that. It's fine as it is. Leave it the way it ended. It's totally fine.
It's one of those situations where you want a season 2, but season 2 can't live up to season 1, so don't do it.
Yeah.
And I will say that in this era of TV, we blame Game of Thrones for that because they never mind. I'm not doing it. I did it last year's episode, so I'm not gonna do it this year.
Oh, brace yourself for next year, guys. We're gonna have to watch another Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we will.
Wait,
Jeez
what?
Louise. Well, House of the
Oh, you-
Dragon's coming back.
Oh, I was. Oh, you mean
Yeah.
Hot D?
Hot D, yeah. Sorry.
Oh man, you not ready for no Hot D?
I'm really not. I could take like a few year hiatus from the Game of Thrones franchise. That would be nice.
Haven't we already?
I mean, we took 1 year. Last year
They
we
took
did.
their own hiatus. They
They
there was
did,
nothing
yeah.
to review.
Yeah, 2022 was when we did Hot D and Rings of Power, and that
Yeah.
was an overload.
Let's not mention the name of such a awful,
Wait.
awful.
So it's Hot D Rope. That's the name. If you put them, okay, yeah, no.
Yeah. Give you that. Yikes. All right. But yeah, man, Beef was great. It's a really great love story. It's got good music. I remember that the music was on point. I remember that I loved every like really jarring introduction that they did to like for the title card of the show.
Mhm.
Yeah, the chemistry is really good. I love the characters. I think that it's like a great roller coaster of emotions. So solid, man. I stand by the 10 only because there's nothing that did that to me this whole year.
Yeah.
The closest thing I can say is that No One Will Save You, but I don't think it is a 10. I think that Beef is closer to a 10 than No One Will Save
No,
You.
But this is
the
a
only other
series, not a
we
movie,
reviewed-
too.
It is a series.
True.
Yes.
True. The only movie we reviewed that I think came close to Beef was a 2022 movie,
Which one was that?
Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes, I agree, and I'm kind of upset that we didn't get to rope that into last year because we reviewed it this year, but it was from 2022.
Yeah, and it
so
didn't even
did
come
not
out
include
late.
it.
We just didn't get to it until late into the year,
Right.
or until this year. Excuse me, not late into the year.
Right. Yeah, I
That
agree
could've
with
been
you.
our last movie of 22, but it wasn't. But
Yes.
yeah.
But 2022 had some heavy hitters, so it was
just
it would
about
be
to say
hard.
that.
Yeah.
Just about to
Honorable
say, but in
mention then?
2022.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be our honorable mention for sure. But I would
Mhm.
definitely say if we had reviewed it in 2022, it would have sank on the list, kind of. Even at an 8, it would have sank on the list.
Yeah. We had a pretty good roster in 2022, so yeah, it's an
For
ebbs and
sure.
flows. 2023
Right.
is the year of mid.
Right, the ultra year of mid, but for
Yeah.
sure, Banshees of Inisherin, Mike, you're right, can be the honorable mention for the good movies and the good reviews of.
Yeah, because that really was a good movie too.
I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, it was
I
great.
enjoyed it way more than I'm willing to admit.
It was a good friend movie, and we're all good friends.
It has no business being as good as it is. It really
Yeah.
doesn't. Like it sounds
Not when
boring
you're
as hell.
dismembering yourself.
Well, when you even just say the synopsis, two guys that live on an island, one guy decides to stop talking to his friend. That's it.
The whole layout.
The whole
That's the
movie.
whole layout. And that's literally the only way they describe the movie. There's no other way. It's
Yeah.
not like, oh, and this and that. Nope. It's
No.
just
You grumpy
that's it.
old
Be his friend
F.
more.
Yeah.
The whole trailer is people asking him, why don't you want to be his friend no more? Because I
Yeah.
don't.
I just don't like you
I
anymore.
just don't like him anymore.
And he stuck to it.
He did.
He lost fingers over it.
He definitely did that.
Plural.
He lost and his home and
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
And
But
it's-
that great
somebody
movie.
was like, oh,
Man, talk about 10 toes to the ground. I mean, dang.
Yes, sir. Any other honorable mentions for good movies this year, guys? Did you want to bring any up that were not in this list?
I guess the two that I mentioned. Actually, no. I already said Smile, but Smile would be another honorable mention, but another very mid, one of the very mids that I just wanted to bring up, The Menu. The Menu lived with me for a minute. I still think
Yeah.
about that movie, and just it was almost perfect, but it wasn't.
Well, The Menu would have made the list if it was a 2023 movie. It just
Yeah.
was a 2022 movie. It would have definitely made the list though, because I think we rated it around a 7 or an 8. So
I think it was a 7 or so too.
yeah,
But it just, even in context, like somebody just says, "Hey, have you seen The Menu?" Even I heard Menu the other day, and I started thinking about the details of that movie, and it's like, wow, like it was.
Baltimore
really
did a good job.
Damn art show.
yeah, Yeah. It's a very good
It's only
movie.
one
I
episode.
enjoyed it. I didn't think that I would like it, but I liked it. Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, The
Um,
Menu is another great honorable mention. I don't know if there's anything else that I'd be willing to mention.
Nah, that's all I got.
Yeah. I'm trying to look through the list here. I'm like, no, there's nothing else. Oh, okay. Well, then let's get on to the bad, guys.
Well, I was gonna say maybe one thing we can throw in the middle between just to give a spacer, something that would go in the high ranks, but was not of reviews in general, of course. But was not a movie or a show of any sort. Wasn't even a trailer. It was a video game.
All right.
Which is Starfield, which we rated a 7 as a game overall.
I thought I gave it a 6.
At all of us together, like when you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would bring it down to a 2 at this point.
Wow.
I'm so mad. Sometimes I see, then I go on to like a forum that talks about Starfield. Just so I can get my fix of people hating it because I hate it.
Are you more upset at Starfield than you were at Cyberpunk? Because you were mad about.
Oh yeah, I was mad about Cyberpunk for sure, but I had no expectations of Cyberpunk, to be honest, because I was running an old gen. And you know what? Cyberpunk is perfectly fine now, and the DLC is great. I just finished it.
Which
it's
you
good.
said it would take like a year. You said it
2 years.
It was like
yeah,
about 2 years. Yep.
About 2 years, and it'll be good. The problem is that 2 years, Bethesda will not make this any better. Everybody is waiting on the mods, but I found out they do paid mods now.
Yeah.
So you have to pay for them.
Because so watch this. So it's not
who got to pay for them.
You have
if
to
you want to
use
use mods. Yes, if you want to use mods for their games, now you have to use their tokens, which is just in-game purchases. And so now you're doing microtransactions to download mods to fix the game that they didn't make good. So at this point, I'm not
even buying it from them.
No. Well, yeah, they get a percentage off of it because you have to use their stupid tokens to buy the mods. So
yeah, but to me, that's like an aftermarket part.
No, the mods don't get paid. That's the problem. Bethesda gets all that money, and the mods don't get paid. Yeah, they just get to be a part of the creation club and be the mod makers. And
I'm not giving free content away.
I tried to replay Skyrim because when I was playing Skyrim and Fallout 4 maybe like 5 years ago, all the mods were free. And so it was kind of fun because you could go in and boot up a new game with a ton of different mods and almost play a brand new game.
Can you boot up mods on Xbox?
Yeah. Yeah. You used to before Bethesda put it behind a paywall, but now you have to go into their creation club, which is what the mods were. And most of the mods are now you have to pay for. It's like, why would I pay for mods?
You don't even know if it's going to be good, and they want you to pay.
Right. Yeah. So for that reason, I cannot, in good conscience, rate Starfield at a 6 anymore. I have to say that it's probably more like a 4. Just because the idea, everybody excused that game because they're like, oh, wait until the mods get it and then I'll make it better. Yeah. It's not going to make it better.
I heard a lot of that too. Yeah. I would have bring it down to a 5, but you want to bring it down to a 4, I'll back you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fine to bring it down to a 5, but I don't think that it deserves a 7. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure not a 7. No, we were. I don't know what we were high on.
I think it's just like a little bit of time. The new game smell. Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you guys have picked it up. Have you?
Not since I
reviewed the last one. No.
After I got to like level 150, whatever it was, I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, exactly.
No reason at all.
Yep.
And I only beat it one time. I didn't go through the 10. I didn't even try to go through all 10.
Neither did I. And I have no plans to. So, all right. Well, let's get to the worst, gents. We're going through these, and this is going to go from anything that we rated a 3 or below is going to be a part of the worst list. Surprisingly, it's about 7 movies as well, so you guys won't have to suffer too long, but we'll go first. The worst. The first worst is The Haunting of the Queen Mary at a 3 out of 10.
If this is the best of the worst, this is about to be hilarious.
This is the best of the worst. A glorified commercial for the haunted tour of the Queen Mary.
Oh yeah. I once again I apologize.
Right.
That's
okay.
A
daytime infomercial.
It really is, with that little kid that was hanging off of the pool cliffhanger style.
Yeah.
What was his name? I forget his name. Anyways. That was a terrible movie that was full of plot holes, that had a decent idea somewhere in the middle of it, which was like the flashback stuff. That was kind of interesting. But then the idea that the mother, that the little boy died on the ship and then went home with his mother and was inhabited by a ghost child, and then the mother kills her child's body and then decides to go back to the Queen Mary to do a suicide pact with her boyfriend in order to stay with her son. What a mess of a movie. What a mess of a movie. And it all ends with a billboard of "Come to the Queen Mary for our new haunted
Oktoberfest."
Yes, it should have been Shacktoberfest.
Come to my maze, Long Beach, California. You could bring the kids, but you gotta go that way. If it's just adults, you can come this way. Ooh.
Oh,
I'm
man.
a ghost.
Yeah, I'm a ghost. Yeah.
Gotta love Shaq, bro. Like, how can you hate a person that really just loves life that much? It's kind of hard. Anyway.
Yeah, he's a chill dude. And yeah, so Haunting of the Queen Mary, that's at a 3. It was snacks, as Mike would say.
Oh yeah, the dookiest of snacks.
Yes, it was. But it only gets worse from here, gentlemen. So we're gonna keep on down the line. The River Wild. Do you guys remember this?
Pebbles. I totally forgot about this one. Damn, Adam. Adrian Brody just wasted your whole damn week, didn't you, shooting this shit?
Adrian Brody's not in this.
What's his name? Adam Brody?
Adam Brody. Yes, Adam Brody.
Adam Brody. You wasted your whole week shooting this shit.
Yep. This is at a 2.3 out of 10. This is about a troubled brother and sister that decide to reconnect on a rafting trip, only to find out that their crew member on the rafting trip is a psychopath that likes to SA women, and commits to
that they grew up with.
And a delinquent that they grew up with, and commits to, proceeds to commit at least 3 murders,
and about a few more felonies, and 2 of those murders were on law enforcement agents.
Yes, that's right. And then decides that the only way he can get out of this is if he goes to Canada, because Canada doesn't have extradition or something. I don't know.
Well, not if you live in the woods and they can't find you,
Right.
But hey, don't forget,
you live among the maple syrup.
Did time for his boy, so that we're supposed to believe him to be a good person.
Oh yes, the biggest crack dealer in Idaho was the brother.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
It was a rough time. Word.
And then he also let his friend assault his little sister,
right?
Because he thought that she
was into. I forgot about that. Let's drop this to 1.3.
Yeah, it really should be definitely
fair enough.
Just because of that.
Unanimous decision.
Agreed. This movie sucks so bad. At one point, the older brother and the bad guy are having a struggle, and the older brother overpowers him and is drowning him in the river. And the sister is 5 feet away from a handgun and decides to run away instead of grab the gun.
I still don't understand how somebody who's a whole 100 pounds lighter than you can be, but yeah, hey.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because the brother was built like a football player and the bad guy was super skinny.
And not even a regular football player. We talking like tight end, defensive end,
right?
Compact.
Yeah. Well, this movie sucked, so say lovey. The next one on the list, The Devil Conspiracy. This is at a 2.1 out of 10.
Yeah, I think it's
right. Rest in peace. Dang, I can't think of his name. Yes, he died. He died right. I think right after this movie came out.
I think right after we released it. I mean, reviewed it more so right after it came out.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't our fault.
No, I will never. I will never accept such a thing. No.
I don't really remember a whole lot about this movie, except for there was like a lady that she was super into religious art, right? Mm-hmm. And then like the whole thing was that she needed to be impregnated.
I think.
Yeah, she needed to be impregnated by the devil to bring about the Antichrist, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
That's how memorably good this movie was.
Yeah, and then like Gabriel was there for some reason, I think, or Michael. I think it was
Ooh.
Michael.
One of the angels.
Yeah, one of the angels.
I am not associated with it.
No, right. Yeah. Just all around bad. I think I remember that the CGI wasn't that great either. And the story was kind of silly. So,
Mhm.
all right, let's move on. We're blowing right past these. This is the best one
Alright.
out of all
Wait,
of
wait,
them.
really quick. I remember.
Yeah.
I got his name now. Peter Mensa.
Peter Mensa. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Next one is Supercell. Remember the legendary?
The spinoff of Twister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Twister -0.2.
Yeah, yeah. Twister point -02. For sure, this movie was absolutely awful. It had the audacity to reference Twister multiple times in it, but never once had a tornado. Or maybe it did, but it was a really crappy one. I remember the motif of the legendary Bill Brody. Everybody was telling us how legendary the kid's father was, but all he did was chase storms.
Right. Mom's was a whole ass scientist, but who is she?
Right. Yeah. She was nobody. She just created
She-
the instrument that let you hear the heartbeat of a
Just about to say
supercell
that.
for some reason.
Right.
What that look? Huh?
The movie didn't even try to make that applicable to science at all. It just was like, yeah, we just you can hear the heartbeat of a storm now. Okay. How's that benefit anybody? Yeah, this movie was bad. Movie was bad, very wooden acting. The young man was not very good. Yeah, this movie was
There's not a
it-
whole lot that was good about
Mm.
this movie.
Bad.
No.
Bad.
no, there really wasn't. It was just all downhill. Next movie is War of the Worlds: The Attack.
This was
Bad.
probably the dookiest dookie stain that ever dookied in 2023.
Unfortunately,
This one was
it
so
wasn't, but
bad.
it was close.
It was very close. This one was very bad. Oh my gosh.
I think I want to drop my score down without even talking about it again, just because I remember how awful it really was.
I just remember the psychotic like priest that they shacked up with in the house.
Right. Jesus Christ.
He was like holding them at knife point and they're like all scared. And then he's like, I'm gonna go take a nap now. And then they just don't leave.
'Cause he gonna stab him. He got stab reflexes in his sleep.
Yeah, what a terrible movie. They tried though. They tried. This is another foreign film that we rated poorly. This is a British film, so there you go. And gentlemen, I think we are at the final one here. The worst movie of 2023, you guys. It wasn't Mike that chose it. It was
Hey,
me.
it could have been Mike. That
Could have
chose it.
been. If Project Legion had actually come out in 2023, then we would have had a race. But it was a 2022 movie, so it was not counted in this list.
I don't think Pooh came out in 23 either.
It did.
Dang
I think it
I
did.
was so close.
Yeah.
I was so close.
Honestly, I would rather watch this than Supercell now that I'm looking at it.
Oh man, I don't think you remember how bad this movie is, but okay.
Hold on, wait. Let me do this in my head. Mike might make a point.
Not Supercell. I'm sorry, not Supercell. War of the Worlds. Sorry.
War of the
Sure,
Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah. Because this was really, really bad too. But
I don't think
there's
you guys
something worth
remember how
talking
bad it was.
I do. I was literally just telling somebody about how terrible this movie was.
I was too.
But what's crazy about it is there's something to talk about. What's the worst thing about the War of the Worlds movie?
Yeah, nothing to say. Yeah.
Bad
Nothing.
acting.
The
Bad
worst thing was
story.
either the spores, right? It was either the spores or the lack of evidence of what the hell were those crop circles or what were y'all trying to do there. Like, there's nothing to talk about there. And Blood and Honey.
At least they were polite enough to rip that woman's shirt off before throwing her in the wood chipper. I will say that.
Hey man,
Yeah.
you gotta know what we do it for.
Yeah, I mean they didn't want her to get all caught up with her shirt. That's just too much fabric. You know, just take that thing
This
off.
beautiful ass shirt you bought.
It needs to
Let's
be a
not waste
smooth
that shit.
transition.
Yeah.
Makes her more aerodynamic when she flies.
Right. There you go. Yeah, this movie is absolute ass. If But I guess funny, if you want to look at it retrospectively, I think that this review was one of the funnier ones we did this year.
Probably.
It's always a good, our reviews usually tend to be more humorous when the movie is awful. So we might be slaves to our own device here. But that's okay because, this movie definitely gave us the entertainment of the conversation. Maybe not so much of watching it, but the conversation afterwards was worth the watch. And I think it's only like an hour and 20 minutes too, so it wasn't that long. But
Long enough to be bad.
absolutely the bottom of the barrel, in my opinion. I think you could make a case for War of the Worlds being on its, just a matter of taste, whether you think which one is better or the other. But I
They're
mean,
both pretty awful.
they're pretty awful, and I think that this one had a lot more technical difficulties as far as like cinematography and the shots and all that stuff. I think it wasn't as good. War of the Worlds just suffered from kind of ho-hum bland writing, and college age kids that didn't have a car.
You know what
So,
this movie did for me?
yeah.
It made me look forward to the new Mickey horror movie that they're gonna eventually make because the licensing is because the licensing is running out.
Yep.
Nice.
So that's about to become community property. So it's gonna be just like this movie. This was community property. That's why they could do this. So when Mickey becomes community property, they're gonna rip it to shreds.
That's when South Park's gonna have a whole series, a whole series about.
Well, technically, they won't have to say Mr. Mouse anymore.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
I look forward to it.
Well, I mean, that's the list, guys.
Hey
What do we
man,
think?
that last one was kind of sticky, but
Kind of sticky. No, I get it. Yeah.
That wasn't very funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. Sorry.
Yeah, not really.
But yeah,
Well,
no, overall, that's the last of the worst. The
Mhm.
worst of the worst.
The worst of the worst.
I think overall though that's a good gauge. Like just able to review those, we were able to even have fun still reviewing the review of those. That is kind of 2023 in reflection though, where even the bad stuff might have been more entertaining than the good stuff this year. Just that's how it kind of panned out.
And speaking of the mids, again, 39 movies that we didn't even mention in this episode because they ranged everywhere between 3.1 and 5.9, or 6, so
just not what's the point of talking about them at that point. Now, with you saying that, Nick, let's give them the average of the year in review.
Our average rating for a movie in the year 2023, Keelan.
Yeah. Now, be sure to know that this average includes what we did, and I mean what we did. If you watched it, it's a part of this. Well, I guess no, that's a lie. But that's we're talking about banter. So anyway, sorry. Here to give you a number. Nick asked me over like 30 seconds ago, and I'm still running my mouth. But here it goes. The average for our reviews on the year 2023 is 4.426.
Oof. Dang. Are we cynical, guys?
No.
I don't think we're even hard enough, to be fair.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think we could be a lot harder. I think on average, the average anywhere else would probably be in the threes a year at the overall average for the movies that came out this year.
I think honestly, if we weren't as nice guys as we are, I think most of these movies would probably somewhere be in the threes. It would be more 3.0 movies than it would be 5.0 movies if we were honest.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Because I personally, I know I like some bad movies. Most horror movies are bad, and I like most bad movies that are horror.
Yeah,
I can be honest with myself about that. And I think that if we were being honest with a lot of these movies, some of them didn't deserve some of the higher ratings that we gave them.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
But that's my take on that, to be fair.
It's a fair assessment, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's also close to 5. So I guess, we're not that far off. if the center of 1 to 10 is 5, we're at a 4.4.
Mhm.
You know, it's like
Right
it's not
under
that bad.
average.
It's just slightly more critical than the average, I guess you could expect. But this is also, you know, if you compare this, go, you know, if you guys are interested, you can go watch our 2022 review. And we had a lot of stuff that was on the high level. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's not that we're adverse, you know, to rating things highly. It's just that we slog through a lot of stuff, and sometimes you only find some gems once in a while. So
Yeah. And you never know when you're gonna find them because unless you
that's true.
pre-watch it and then say let's review it, but we
Right.
typically,
Right.
watch it all at the same time together or somewhere
Yes.
around the same time so that we all have fresh takes.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And so, you know, going forward, we're going to be going into the new year. 2024 is just around the corner. We're going to do our best to bring you everything fresh that comes out in 2024 on streaming. Um, you know, I don't know how much that's going to be because there was a strike this year and we might get a desert. And if that happens, then we might have to do more banter episodes and just, you know, sort of hang out until the content comes back. But we'll see. Um, yeah, guys, anything else that you wanted to bring up before we wrap this thing up?
I do want to say that even when there's an influx of movies that maybe aren't the greatest, there is not a drought of material out there. So
It's
you know,
not.
it's just that's the interesting part. Not a lot to watch, but there's plenty out there to turn on.
I mean,
Apparently, there's yeah.
are
Go
we
ahead.
talking original stories? Or are we talking about more fucking
Doesn't
remake?
matter.
Sorry.
Doesn't matter. You could remake it and still be bad. So it doesn't have to be original. It's just bad
Yeah.
story.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm interested in looking for all of these 14,000 movies. I'm assuming there'll be more next year.
18
So
this year. 18 this
18
year.
this year, right? All right, so 20,000 movies next year. I guess we're gonna find 50 or 60 of them.
Hey,
Again,
maybe one or two of them be ours.
we look,
Hey.
and I do not see that many movies coming out.
I don't
So.
understand where they're even at.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you guys know where all these movies are, you can let us know and we will find a new source of bad movies to review. So we'd appreciate you all for that. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really hope that you enjoyed this episode. This has been the recap of 2023, all the movies we've talked about, the movies that we love, the movies that we hate. What do you guys think? What is your impression? Did you see any of these? What would you rate them? Let us know in the comments. We would love to hear from you as always. Thank you to Siobhan and thank you to Ayla and thank you to Tina for commenting. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your support and it means the world to us that you guys tune in. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we hope that you have a wonderful 2024. Hope that you stay tuned and continue the journey with us. And to all of you out there, happy 2024, happy new year. And here's to a year full of exciting movies for us to love and hate. So thank you, Keelan, and thank you, Mike, for another great year of laughs and hosting and all of that great stuff. I appreciate you guys. And I look forward to the episodes in the future.
Absolutely.
Man,
Yeah.
appreciate you being here doing this with
Love
us
you
too, man.
guys.
All this
Yeah.
talking and having fun and stuff.
Yeah, it's the highlight. It's a highlight of my week for sure, hanging out with you guys and talking about movies. So it's been great.
For sure.
And yeah, I look forward to doing more. And we look forward to hearing from you guys. So please, again, hit that
Tell
like
your
button.
friends.
Tell your friends. Let your friends know if you enjoy it and you want to just share. We would really appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Notification bell. We're trying to grow our YouTube audience out, and we can't do it without your help. So thank you so much. Until next time. Yeah.
I just want to let them know that when they take that walk for these holidays with a family member, you could be listening to this particular episode because it's not as long as some of the other ones, and something to laugh at, something to talk like, what? I ain't never seen that movie they talking about. Then you get some new material to go check out.
We'll try to keep the effing and jeffing at the minimal. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes we get impassioned.
Well this year, though.
Yeah. We've been doing better. Slowly but surely, we're trying to make Keelan's mom proud.
Absolutely.
because that's important. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for the Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick.
I am Keelan.
And I'm Mike.
Good night.
Happy New Year, guys. Enjoy it. Live it up.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I need help.